Veterans, do you know what lay evidence is and how you can use it as a game changer as it pertains to your VA claim? In today's video, I am going to give you a better understanding of lay evidence and point out some key factors you need to understand. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. So today's video, lay evidence. How can you use it as a game changer for your claim? I'm gonna go ahead and share some key points with you so you can have a better understanding. Now, a few videos ago, I did a video on lay statements, okay? This video is lay evidence because you want to identify your lay evidence so it can be a game changer for your claim. Let's go ahead and get into it. Slide number one. Here in slide number one, this is the VA's definition of acceptable lay evidence, okay? This is in the -1 citation. So it says, lay evidence is acceptable for the purposes of establishing service incurrence or aggravation, okay? Incurrence or aggravation. It incurred in service or your military service aggravated it. In the absence of service treatment records, okay? STRs, for a combat veteran or former prisoner of war, if the evidence is, I have it highlighted here in red, satisfactory, is consistent with the circumstances, conditions, or hardships of combat or former prisoner of war, all right? And can prevail in spite of the absence of official records showing occurrence or aggravation of the disease or injury during service, all right? I know that's a lot. I'm gonna break it down for you. Also, it states, important, medical evidence of a link to a current condition is still needed to establish service connection, okay? So lay evidence, it can't be a substitute, okay? Now, look at this bottom, not the bottom, yeah, the paragraph under the important sentence there. A non-combat veteran's lay statement may be acceptable for establishing service incurrence or aggravation, but must be weighed against other evidence in the claims folder, including the absence of military records documenting or supporting the statements. Now, here's some examples, okay? Let's say you claim tinnitus, all right? A lot of us didn't go on sick call, all right, and complain about ringing in the ears. So you can give your own testimony as to why your ears are ringing, because you're competent to do that. And ask the VBA to concede that diagnosis. Now, there is a link, okay? There's still a link because you're claiming tinnitus due to your MOS while you were what? On active duty. Don't overthink this process. And two, do not try to put a square in a circle. It will not fit. A lot of veterans try to do that and they like, hey, Dwayne, I got denied. I did this and I believed it. No, stick to the facts. Let's keep going. Slide number 2. When to use lay evidence, okay? Now, don't forget, the M21-1-5 is references for VA employees. And I believe, this is just me, you being educated on what they can do and what they are not supposed to do gives you an advantage, all right? Because if they don't follow it, then you can call them out on a high-level review, or if you decide to go to BVA, Board of Veterans Appeals, okay? Lay evidence is generally afforded probative value. I know a lot of you that probably submitted claims with DBQs and Nexus statements and went to the CMP exam. The rater probably used this word probative value in that decision. Don't worry about it. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. Afforded probative value if it is provided by a person who has knowledge of facts or circumstances and conveys matters that can be observed and described by a lay person. That's you, Big Bubba. Okay? They said provided by a person. I put it in bold. They didn't say a medical professional. They didn't say a mental health professional. They didn't say a nurse practitioner, physician assistant. Okay? Provided by a person. Who better to reasonably articulate your symptomology better than you, the veteran? Let's keep going. The value accorded to other types of lay evidence depends on such factors as the accuracy or clarity of the individual's memory, okay, direct personal knowledge or experience, all right, and then you have two other bullet comments there, competence, reporting person. So think about if you have a spouse when you're in the military, right? Accuracy, individual's memory, direct personal knowledge or experience, okay? That should be held, that should have a certain weight to it because they know, they were around you. So if your wife says, hey, I was married to him the entire time, he was in the military and he snored, and he had sleep issues, and I encouraged him to go and get treated, he never did, and now it is progressively worse. Or if your spouse was a female and she snored, okay? They should hold, that should be afforded probative value because of what? Look at the first and second bullet comment, direct personal knowledge or experience. Okay? They have been around you. They have that knowledge, okay? The last paragraph down below, a medically untrained individual is not usually competent to offer a medical opinion, okay? Makes sense, regarding the etiology of disorders, and such an opinion is generally assigned little probative weight. So if you're not a mental health or medical professional and you write the medical opinion and give the rationale and sign the Nexus letter yourself, they're not going to hold probative weight to that, okay? Because that's not your area of expertise. Let's keep going. Slide number 3. Definition of probative value. Told you I was going to get to it. Evidence has probative value if it makes a matter material to the determination more or less likely, and so you don't need just one of two of these, you need both, and has sufficient weight either by itself or in combination with other evidence to persuade the decision maker about a fact. Now, let's just stick with DBQ's and Nexus statement. Makes a matter of material to determination more or less likely. All right? More or less likely, we were talking about part of the medical opinion terminology. So a mental health professional, a medical professional, they provide their opinion. That should have probative value. Okay, and we're going to dig a little bit deeper, okay, because you have different providers. You have a medical doctor, you have a nurse practitioner, and you have a physician assistant. Also, you have specialty doctors like proctology, cardiovascular, dealing with the heart specialist, okay? We're going to get to that because I know where, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, don't worry about it. We're going to get to it, okay? Now, it says determining the probative value of evidence. The following factors are important considerations in determining the probative value of evidence: competency, credibility, thoroughness, precision, relevancy, date of the evidence. Okay, we're just going to stick with this example, DBQs and Nexus statements, because this is a hot topic because there are several VA employees rejecting VA public DBQs from private examiners. Okay, let's keep going. Consider the key elements. This is the last paragraph at the bottom. Consider the key elements listed below when evaluating the probative value and relative weight of medical evidence, talking about DBQ and Nexus, such as a diagnosis, assessment, prognosis, or opinion on etiology. That's in the DBQ and the Nexus. Physicians, qualifications, expertise, specialty, and experience. Remember the bullet comments up above: competency, credibility, thoroughness. Let's keep going, slide number 5. Here in slide number 5, determining the probative value of evidence. Physician knowledge of the relevant history, the accuracy, okay? History provided by the patient. Review of records and other evidence. I'm gonna get to a huge example, so I know what you're thinking, bear with me. Length of time the physician has treated the veteran. Context in which the medical evidence was created. Treatment, okay? Reasoning employed by the physician. Theory, observation, clinical testing, etc. Degree of certainty, all right? So there's a lot here, all right? There is a lot here. This is where I'm taking you. Here's the example. You go to the VA's website, you download the DBQ. You take it to your treating physician that has been treating you maybe 2 or 3 months, a year, 2 years, or this doctor is a specialist, a cardiologist, all right, a proctologist, a podiatrist, and they complete a DBQ in Nexus. Bear with me, I'm getting to it, here it comes. You submit that with your claim. The VA requests a CNP exam and you decide to go. Totally up to you. And you see a nurse practitioner, physician assistant, okay? But they never treated you before. Your doctor or examiner that completed your DBQ, they treated you. So guess what you're putting in that DBQ and Nexus statement? These things right here, people, physicians' knowledge of the relevant history. If they've been treating you for 2 months, 3 months, 2 years, 3 years, there is a history. There is a paper trail. Context in which the medical evidence was created. Treatment is based off of treatment, okay? Reasoning, theory, observation, clinical testing, okay? So think about this. I know a lot of veterans went to the VA's website, downloaded the public DBQ, took it to their private examiner, decided to go to the CNP exam, and there's a negative opinion. Your doctor provided a positive opinion. Go back and look in the narrative section of that rating decision to see if that rater said anything about probative value. If they did, they lied. Because if they would have looked at, especially slide number 4 and slide number 5, where we talked about treatment, your doctor treated you. So you've probably heard me say throughout 2025, start building a paper trail, okay? Find you an examiner and start building that paper trail. So when that rater states in the rating decision, oh, probative value to our doctor, wait a minute, how can you give probative value to your doctor when 1, my doctor is a specialist, and 2, my doctor has been treating me for 2 months, 3 months, 2 years, 3 years. That's the argument on a holiday review if you get denied in that particular scenario. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veteran. Thank you.